In the 5th century BC, a Roman farmer was pulled from his plow to save the Republic, then handed back absolute power after just 16 days. He did it twice. Lucius Quinctius Cincinnatus was a patrician of the Quincian clan, born around 519 BC. He worked a small 4-acre farm across the Tiber with his own hands. When his son Ciso was prosecuted and driven into exile in 461 BC, Cincinnatus withdrew further into rural life. He preferred his fields to the forum. In 460 BC, he was elected suffect consul. The messengers found him behind his oxen, bare-chested, plowing. When told, he wept, "My field will go unsown this year." He served, restored the courts, then refused a second term and returned to his farm. Dionysius of Halicarnassus writes that Cincinnatus gloried more in his poverty than others in their riches. 2 years later, the consul Lucius Minucius and his army were trapped on Mount Algidus by the Achaea. Rome appointed Cincinnatus dictator, absolute ruler for 6 months. The deputation found him again at the plow. "This year's crop, too, will be ruined," he said. He named L. Tarquinius his master of horse, ordered every soldier to the Campus Martius by sunset with 5 days' rations and 12 palisades, and marched through the night. He arrived at midnight and surrounded the enemy camp with a trench and wall. At dawn the Achaea surrendered, their commander led in chains, their army humiliated under the yoke. Cincinnatus stripped Minucius of his command, returned to Rome in triumph, and on the 16th day resigned. He refused every gift, land, money, slaves. He walked back to his farm. In 439 BC, at around 80 years old, he was called again to stop the conspiracy of Spurius Maelius. C. Servilius Ahala, his master of horse, executed Maelius. Cincinnatus resigned the dictatorship once the crisis passed. He died around 430 BC. George Washington would later be called the American Cincinnatus, a farmer who took power only to give it back